Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Kathy Jarvis, and if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon to let you know when I'm going to be on next. But today we're going to do a July tour to show you what's happening, what has happened in July and what's happening now. This is the peach tree. You can see there's still a few peaches hanging on, but they're the ones up higher and harder for me to get. And there's a few down here that are just now getting ready to ripen. So we'll finish getting those before the end of the month. And the glads are starting to bloom. Some of them have already been blooming. The grapes are looking really nice. Got small grapes just forming. I need to add more moss again. Blackberries are done for the season. If you remember, we topped them off. Topped these Prima-Canes off the other day, and now you can see the new starts that have come from there. And when they get a little bit longer, I'll pinch the top off them too, and then these will spread out. So they're doing better than what they did last year. At least I've learned that this season and got it done. Those over there look really nice. They're really starting to branch out. Strawberries, I weeded them. We had the big rain, and now I've got to weed them again. But they're looking well. Butternut squash is doing really well on this end. The leeks are doing well. First time I've tried those. You can see we got a lot of butternut squash in here. This end isn't doing as well as I would like. It had broccoli in it and it all went to seed. And I really need to pull them up and put new broccoli in, or put something in that area. Just been so busy with the remodeling of the back enclosed porch that we started last year. Had to stop because of the winter, and now we're getting back to doing that again. So the garden has taken a little bit of a back on the back burner a little bit. I still water it every day and come out here and harvest, but I need to get the rest of the fall stuff planted. The pumpkin, I have no luck with pumpkins. This happens every year. This year I thought, well, I'll try it in a bucket. Maybe it'll grow. It died. I have no luck with pumpkins. Corn is tasseling and starting to put on ears. They're kind of little again, but I've been watering it every day, so we'll live and learn. We'll try again next year. Okra has finally taken off. I actually harvested off of it today. And the second waves of corn seem to be doing better than what the first wave did. This is the Swiss chard that I'm saving for seeds. And I got it wrapped in this little bag. My watermelons are in slings to help the vine so it doesn't pull off from the weight. Okay, over here we have the cantaloupe. I have these in those slings also to help protect them. It also kind of hides them from the animals so they don't see them as well. The fall peas are coming up nicely. And the cantaloupe in the ground over there is doing well. We've got 2 cantaloupes over here. I might have to make a sling for both of them so they're off the concrete and get some support to help that vine so it doesn't break. The kale got caught by the cabbage worm again, so I'm going to have to spray out here, and not all of it, it's just this one over here. These over here next to the marigolds are doing wonderful. Nothing's bothering them. So I'll have to remember to plant marigolds in between, like a kale, a marigold, and a kale, because that seems to be keeping the bugs away. And this kale is absolutely beautiful. I have harvested the onions that were here, and I planted red onions sets in its place. And I harvested all the radishes, and I have another set of radishes. I have one little radish that's left from last time that I'm letting go into seed. The green beans, bush green beans have been doing really well. I've gotten about, gosh, maybe a half a bushel off of them so far. We've been eating them like crazy. I need to freeze more and eat less, but I like eating them. Okay, this is supposed to be our po bean and cucumbers mixed together. The po beans are very far and few in between. They did not come up very well, but you can see we do have some of them coming up. But this is a new cucumber that I tried this year. I like my straight 8s, but for some reason they did not germinate from last year. Well, actually they're 2 years old. They didn't germinate. So I sent him to the store to pick up cucumbers, and all I could get was this white cucumber, snake cucumber. You can see how long that sucker is. And I got those, and I got summits. We haven't tried those yet, these white ones. We're going to try those tonight. Over here, we have more cantaloupes. There's another one back there. My carrots. I've been harvesting the potatoes out of the potato buckets. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more yet to go. And then I have a tomato there that's kind of a leftover. I forgot all about it until I realized I needed to water it. Okay. Compost bin is doing really well. We've got compost there that's ready to be put in. And on this side, we got compost that's working. 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, that was up high, and it's gone down that far already. Okay, this bed's giving me a little bit of a problem. The lettuce is old and it's going to seed. I pulled up all the turnips, and I planted new turnips, and I've got weeds like crazy. I can see the turnips, but I got weeds like crazy. So I need to get out here and weed this one. This is the only one with the newspaper, a shredded newspaper, that has to let the weeds go through. I did an experiment this year with shredded newspaper, straw, landscape fabric, and leaf mode. And the shredded newspaper, the leaf mode, and the membrane fabric has been the best at keeping down weeds. I got other strawberries and the tomatoes that I have outside here. I had some more down there with the asparagus plants, which are doing fine. These are the cherry tomatoes. Okay, these are the other set of tomatoes. These are the beefsteak ones, and they're doing really well. I always have good luck with tomatoes in this bed for some reason. The po beans here, again, the po beans just did not do well. I have no idea why, because last year they did great. So let's go and see what's inside the greenhouse. Come to the conclusion, I really need a bigger greenhouse. These are the combination of summit pickles and the white summit cucumbers and the white cucumbers. And they're doing quite well. Got lots and lots of blooms. We've made like 3 batches of bread and butter pickles out of the summit cucumbers, and they did really well. We haven't tried the white ones yet. They're more of a slicing cucumbers, so we've got one we're going to try tonight. I got 1 I actually got 2 eggplants. The one actually has a little eggplant on it and has a bloom on it, so hopefully it will produce. The other little eggplant, it just never took off. It's down underneath that plant leaf of the zucchini. Zucchini's starting to bloom again. Peppers are not doing as well as I would like. They've got good peppers on them, but they don't have any more blooms. And I think it's because of the hot weather. It's been over 90 for the long time, and I think it just needs to cool off a little bit for them to take off again. We got some beets back there that are doing alright. The kale's doing okay, but everything's being overtaken by this watermelon plant that's in here, which is just starting to set baby watermelons. We got the sage back there, the basil, and my yellow squash. All those onions I said that I have harvested are sitting here drying. Here we have the Celebration hybrid tomatoes, which are doing alright. And then I've got some more peppers. You can see the big pepper hanging on there. Hopefully once it cools down a little bit, they will produce more flowers. And then here's the cherry tomatoes. So that's what's happening in the greenhouse. Now let's go out and see what's happening on the fruit trees. That peach tree is the newest one. It seems to be doing better than the other ones. A little bit slower to ripen up. They're still all green, where the ones on the older tree are ripe. The cherry tree. This is an apple tree. Or so it says it's an apple tree. It's about 5 years old, and it's never produced a single apple. And I have a feeling that if it doesn't produce anything next year, I might just get rid of it and put a new one in that will produce. Here we have the newest cherry trees. They did produce well this year. The first year for them, they did fairly well. I'm going to have to come in here and top off the very top of it so that it branches out more. And then we'll do this when it goes dormant. I'll mark the branches that are crisscross, and we'll take those out. I will come in here and take out any dead ones before that, but mainly it's just going to get a good little trim this winter. This little one here has been kept down size. It's really done nice. It's a smaller one, and I prefer the size on it. Let's see, I have another apple tree over here that did not produce any apples this year, but it's only a 2-year plant. So hopefully next year it will produce something. It's got pretty good shape. I just need to top it off so it doesn't get any taller, and otherwise it's going to be just fine. And this little one over here, I'm not for sure. It looks like an apple tree, but originally it was an apple tree, but it got broke off by something. I'm not for sure whether we hit it with a lawnmower or whether a deer came through, and I thought it was not going to grow back, and then this came up. So I don't know exactly what kind of tree it is, and we're just kind of letting it grow for the time being and see what happens. And if it doesn't produce something next year or blooms, or at least let me know other than the leaf that's an apple tree, I'll take it out and replace it also. Now, I've got one little tree left, and that is a Gala apple tree that has outdone itself this year. It's a 2nd-year plant, and I'm going to have to get in here and take even more fruit off. I keep taking fruit off, but it's beginning to look like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree, so I'm going to have to do something before it permanently destroys itself. For some reason, I cannot get it to put branches out on the other side. It all wants to put branches out on one side only, and I have trimmed it and everything else, but it just puts them out on the one side. So if anybody's got any suggestions as to how I can make it produce branches on the other side, let me know. We just had a nice rain, and plants really needed it. As you can tell, the pumpkin's losing a lot of leaves. But we got a nice size pumpkin in the sling growing. I just harvested a bunch of little teeny cherry tomatoes off of this one yesterday. And you can see it's got more coming on. Took a big squash out of this one yesterday. Zucchini. But let's look at our flowers, see what they're doing. The corbels, sedan, got the phlox blooming. Bee balms are starting to fade away, as is the hollyhock. I usually just let it go to seed. The roses aren't doing anything right now. This one, the yellow one, isn't. Sunflowers are getting taller. Yeah. This rose is blooming. You notice I actually got in here and got the weeds out. Another sunflower. Looks so much better now that you can sit underneath the trees. Like I said, the phlox is blooming. And we just got through with the heavy rains, so everything's kind of laying down a little. We needed the rain badly. But the phlox is so pretty. The only white phlox I have. I'm so glad I didn't pull it. It was in with the mint. I thought about pulling it, and I thought, no, I'll leave it. I'm glad I did. Like I said, it's the only white one I have. And then we've got the asters. They're getting taller. They'll bloom in September. And that pretty much takes care of what we got in the bird garden. There's nothing blooming out in the shade garden or in the backyard right now. And everything back in the utility area has quit blooming. So let's walk around to the front. You can hear the thunder in the background. The driveway garden, we've got the glads just starting. I need to weed them. I have not got out here to weed those. The marigolds that we planted are up and blooming. The star glacier has quit blooming, but some of the other daylilies are still hanging on. And then over here, my Rose of Sharon bushes are just starting to bloom. Got the pink one there, and the little white one here. This hedge is all done. It's just now a pretty green color. The rose, I just trimmed back. It should start blooming again. Crepe myrtle tree, I think the original tree died out. I think we now have a secondary tree coming up, but I haven't got in here to trim. I'll mark the old ones that didn't put any leaves out this summer. I'll mark those for fall to take down. Let's Same thing with this crepe myrtle. It goes every year, makes a new one, and dies back down. Oh, the hibiscus that had the problem, it turned out really nice with the treatment after the spider mites. We lost the other one, but this one did good. Volunteer petunias. And out here we have the water lilies yet. You can see them blooming. The rosebush backside is still blooming. The front side I had the deadhead, so we're waiting on blooms for it. But look at this. Aren't these gorgeous? So big. Give you a comparison. That's my hand. Those things are huge. And they're so, so pretty. And look at that. The bees love them. Yeah. This crepe myrtle is getting ready to bloom. And this rose is getting ready to bloom again. And this little squash plant, I harvested off of it yesterday. And we've got blooms and we got pollinators. So we're fine. Look at that little bee. Yes. He's busy working. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to it. And remember, dream big. Bye.